So how's it going, Jerry?
It's going good.
Okay.
About 20 minutes away from going to open for Bright Giant, and Stan had just found out tonight that you found out tonight that I actually was playing with Bright Giant before, or when they originally started. Josh and I have been playing together for years and years in other bands, and when he told me he was going to start this new project, I was like really interested. I said I would love to, contribute in some way. And I think initially, sort of how that worked is he had a few songs that they were looking to go to the studio with this new group, and so we had historically on each other's records have provided backup vocals and stuff like that. So I came in and sang a couple of songs, and he was like, you should come and you should come play a couple shows with us, because I played keys and stuff. And I was like, okay, well that sounds great. So it all just sort of fell together, and I played with Bright Giant for maybe the first probably 5 months that they were together, I think, or maybe a little bit longer than that. But that band is fantastic, and that was a lot of fun. Unfortunately, then I moved away, so I had to leave the Bright Giant behind for now. But.
And that's when you went to Fort Collins, Colorado?
Mm-hmm. Yep. So I moved out to Fort Collins to start a graduate program out there at Colorado State. So I'll be out there for at least a little while longer. But
what are you studying?
I'm studying sociology. So I'm looking at, being from Iowa, I'm looking at renewable energies and like biofuels and wind energy, and so since that has a profound influence on the economy and jobs and well-being, and that environmentalism that seems to be catching on in one way or another everywhere, that seemed like something pretty pertinent for me to study. So while I wish that I could only play music all the time, I have to see if I can do my part to solve some of planet Earth's problems.
Yeah, that's good double work.
Yeah.
So what do you think about the music scene in Fort Collins?
There's lots of good venues out there, and I've seen some great bands, and I think that city makes a good commitment to music. They have, every year they do a festival out there that's 100% free. It's called New West Fest, and they have something like 100 Colorado bands that are exclusively play out there, and I would guess 5 or 6 different stages, and it's over 3 days, and it's a really cool event. And actually, I saw Fierce Bad Rabbit out there, and I know that you guys have done some work with them in the past too.
Yeah, they've been on Insider Sessions.
Yeah.
They're great.
They're fantastic. They write great songs, and they're a great live show. So I watched the Inside Sessions episode of them first before I went to see them, so I thought that was pretty cool. But no, the music scene out there is great. There's maybe a different style that's out there, but for the most part, it's pretty awesome. There's some great venues there, and there's definitely a lot of activity. It's not dormant by any means.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, via Eric Iverson. Sorry, I'm losing my voice.
Oh, that's all right.
But,
excuse me, guys.
hey, come on in. Look who's here.
You guys hanging out?
This guy on camera.
Just a little hangout.
We're just doing a little Insider Sessions interview.
Right on. How's it going?
For anybody that doesn't know, this is Will, the drummer for Bright Giant.
How's it going? Good to see
Good. Always good. Looking forward to your show tonight.
Sorry for interrupting.
Well, this is my time to shine.
Yeah, I know.
This is my turn in front of the camera.
I'm not in the Red Marksman band or anything.
Yeah.
But I kind of am.
I should tell Planet Earth about Red Marksman. Go to redmarksman.com. That's redmarxmen.com. That's a project that I recently started with my kid brother and also Will. Consequently, all of us have red beards, and we try to sort of write songs that focus and emphasize sort of the common person experience. I don't mean that in like a lame sense, but let's say telling a story about like what a traditionally like a working class job might be, like being a miner or something like that. Or quite a few of the songs that have emerged have focused on disasters and highlighting the effect of that on the majority of the population, not just necessarily what shows up on television or something like that. So, so it's a really cool project. We don't have a whole lot. We don't have a lot of material, maybe 6-7 songs at this point, but as they emerge, we keep kind of making scratch tracks and posting them to our website. Consequently, since my brother and I both are aspiring academics, we also have a blog on that page where we take an issue. The most recent would be, say, like the Occupy Wall Street phenomena that's been happening lately. So we both kind of throw our take up there and try to use the tools that we've learned from our respective programs at this point to say, hey, what the heck's happening here on planet Earth, and what can we know about it?
So how much of that goes into your songwriting?
Absolutely a lot. Probably the first song that I wrote for Red Marksman was a song called Pillows Flood, and it's on the website. You can go and download it for free. But it's I heard a radio program about this farmer in Mississippi, and his and he was telling of his story and telling his experience, where he felt that year was sort of going to be their year, where they finally kind of got ahead. The plight of the American farmer is a difficult one, and is increasingly difficult. So he, at this point, he was telling his wife, this is finally our year where we're going to get ahead, we're going to get in the black, and things are really going to, work out for the family. And then, he said, barring some like crazy, unforeseen circumstance or whatever. And it just so happened that all of their farmland was flooded by the heavy flooding that they had this spring.
Oh no.
Yeah. So, but what fascinated me was that he understood immediately. Some people would see that as a tragedy, and that has caused a lot of strife and difficulty for his family. But what impressed me and what shook me a little bit was he was so positive about it. He understood that it was so much bigger. There's nothing he could do. And it was such a bigger thing that was happening than anything he could possibly address or get his hands around. So he just sort of had to leave it to, for him, he left that to a higher power and said, we'll figure it out somehow. And he was just really positive about it. And when I heard that story, it really struck me. And I was like, somebody needs to write a song about this guy, because he's, he has a really neat story and a cool thing to share. So that was the first song that sort of emerged for this Red Marksman project, but yeah, that definitely plays into that process. Just telling someone's story. So
It's pretty cool.
yeah, thank you.
When you write songs, do you? I'm going to guess that you come up with the lyrics first. I'm guessing wrong.
Well, it's a 50-50, right? I think.
Well, I said that because of what you said about being a storyteller.
Like Josh Davis, Bright Giant, for example, you can tell him to write a song about anything, he'll have you one ready in 10 minutes, so for me, like, for example, that story with John Pillow, I heard the story and I knew there was something that I wanted to tell there, but I didn't have the words, and I also didn't have any music for it. So generally then, at that point, what I have done historically is I'll start playing around with something on the guitar, and then sort of wait for that hook to come out, or I'll just start sort of humming something, or wait for that little trigger to trip in your mind, where you're like, that's it, and then I will shape the words to fit that melody that I hear. So I sort of wait for that melody to come out, and then I'll shape the words based on the subject matter to fit that hook that I think's hot or something, that will resonate with the listener. So, but
It's pretty cool.
yeah, I should probably get up there. I got to be up there about.
I've just got a couple minutes before you have
sure.
to go. So, we got your website. I want to make sure I've got that right. redmarxman.com.
Men, instead of man.
I'm glad I.
Technically, I'm playing solo tonight. My kid couldn't make it from North Carolina tonight, but so technically I'm Red Marks Man tonight. But
man.
Yeah, but it is redmarksman.com.
Okay, and are there any other things that our viewers need to know about you so they can keep up with you? Because I know they'll want to.
Yeah, we try to post our sort of social commentaries, if you will, fairly regularly. We try to shoot for once a week, just something that we think might be pertinent or fun to share. So we update that blog fairly regularly, and then also that page that has the songs on it too. As those songs come out, we just sort of keep posting them, and then eventually we'll work up to doing like a professional record. But up until that point, we'll just keep giving these sort of sketches away to the listeners. So go get them; they're free.
Well, I think it's great that you do that.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, if there's
All
nothing
right.
else, we'll let you get out of here
Oh,
so we can come upstairs and watch you play your show.
that sounds good. And for anyone watching, make sure you follow Inside Sessions with Stan and his group, because this is a really, really cool thing and a great way to expose some of the things that are happening on the interior of the country to everyone else on the exterior and the periphery. So,
All right. Thanks so much for being on Insider Sessions.
thank you.